Coming to its resistance of Staphylococcus aureus. These Staphylococcus species are the more resistant among non-sporing bacteria. They can remain in dry condition for 3 to 6 hours. Coming to its resistance, they are more resistant among non-sporing bacteria. They can remain in dry condition for 3 to 6 hours. They withstand 60 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes. Their thermal death point is 62 degrees Celsius for 32 minutes. They grow in the presence of 10 to 15% sodium chloride concentration. They resist 1% phenol for 15 minutes. Then aniline dyes including crystal violet are bactericidal, crystal violet being lethal. Antibiotic resistance is very common among Staphylococcus aureus species because of the production of beta-lactamase enzyme. This beta-lactamase enzyme cleaves the beta-lactam ring and inactivating the penicillin group of antibiotics. Coming to its pathogenicity and virulence, Staphylococcus aureus produces two types of diseases in humans: infections and intoxications. In infection, the organism colonizes the skin or other areas of human body through small abrasions or cut or through burns or wounds. The organism enter into the local areas and then they get multiplied there and cause different types of infections. Then in intoxication, the disease is due to the activity of toxin. Coming to its virulence factors, there are different types of virulence factors are associated with Staphylococcus aureus. This include cell-associated polymers. In that, the first coming is the most outermost layer of the cell wall, that is the peptidoglycan. The peptidoglycan gives rigidity and structural integrity to the cell wall. The peptidoglycan acts as a pyrogenic compound and also an antiphagocytic element. Next is teichoic acid. Teichoic acid is mainly helping the organism in addition to the host tissues. They protect from complement mediated opsonization. Opsonization means making the cells or antigen more attractive to the phagocytic cells. Then the third cell associated polymer is capsule. The capsule is made up of polysaccharide. It inhibits opsonization and phagocytosis. The next is cell surface proteins. The most important proteins which are found on the cell surface of Staphylococcus aureus are protein A and clumping factor. Protein A is antiphagocytic and anti-complementary, and also this protein A induces platelet damage and also it produces hypersensitivity. Next is clumping factor. It is also called bound coagulase. This bound coagulase is responsible for slide coagulase test. Slide coagulase test is a routine test used for the rapid identification of Staphylococcus aureus infections. This clumping factor or bound coagulase is responsible for the clotting of the plasma. Next virulence factor associated with the Staphylococcus aureus is extracellular enzymes. This extracellular enzymes, the first is coagulase. Coagulase is the most important protein responsible for the clotting of the plasma. It can clot the plasma of human or rabbit. This clotting factor or the coagulase enzyme acts with the coagulase reacting factor or CRF present in the host plasma or host blood. After binding with the CRF, that is coagulase reacting factor, it binds to the prothrombin and converts fibrinogen to fibrin, that is blood clot is formed. There are 8 types of coagulases are produced by Staphylococcus aureus, and this coagulase or the free coagulase is responsible for the tube coagulase test. It's another test used for the routine identification of Staphylococcus aureus. Other enzymes include lipases. It produces different types of lipid hydrolases. Then hyaluronidase is a spreading factor which cleaves the connective tissue which is found between the cells. Then nucleases. Here the nucleases, different types of nucleases are produced by the Staphylococcus aureus. The relevance of these nucleases are this Staphylococcus aureus produce heat stable nucleases, or the nucleases produced by Staphylococcus aureus are heat stable. Then protein receptors are found which are helping in adhesion on the human or animal cell surfaces. Then coming to the toxins, the different types of toxins are produced by Staphylococcus aureus. The first is cytolytic toxins. This cytolytic toxins comprises 4 hemolysin and 1 leucocidin. In hemolysins, the most important one is alpha hemolysin. This is the most important one, and this protein is inactivated at 70 degrees Celsius but reactivated at 100 degrees Celsius, because at 70 degrees Celsius this toxin get bounded with a heat labile inhibitor which inactivates the hemolysin, but on 100 degrees Celsius the heat labile inhibitor get denatured, releasing the toxin free, making the toxin active. That's why it get inactivated at 70 degrees Celsius but reactivated at 100 degrees Celsius. It lyses rabid erythrocytes. Then it is leucocidal, it is neurotoxic, dermonecrotic and cytotoxic. Next hemolysin produced by Staphylococcus aureus is beta hemolysin. It is a sphingomyelinase enzyme. It is hemolytic for sheep but not for human and rabbit, and it exhibits hot cold phenomenon because the hemolysis starts at normal temperature but it becomes evident only when chilling. Next hemolysin is gamma hemolysin. It is having 2 different parts, both are important for hemolysis. Then delta hemolysin, it's having a detergent like action on membranes of erythrocytes, leukocytes and platelet cells. Next is leucocidin. Leucocidin is a multi-subunit protein composed of 2 subunits S and F. The next important toxin produced by Staphylococcus aureus is enterotoxin. The enterotoxin is a toxin which is responsible for food poisoning. So this enterotoxin produced by Staphylococcus aureus is responsible for Staphylococcus food poisoning. It is heat stable. It can resist 100 degrees Celsius for 40 minutes. The main source of this enterotoxin are meat, fish, milk and milk products, and also food handlers who are carriers. The disease is a self-limited disease. Recovery occurs within a day or 2. Then the symptoms are vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, then mild fever. It's a normal features of food poisoning. There are 8 types of enterotoxins are produced by Staphylococcus aureus. This include A, B, C1, C2, C3, D, E and H. The toxin is antigenic and neutralized by specific antisera. It is acting as a super antigen. Then this can be detected by ELISA and agglutination test. The next is toxic shock syndrome toxin. This toxic shock syndrome toxin causes toxic shock syndrome TSS. It's a multi-system disease affecting many organs in the human body. The symptoms are fever, hypotension, myalgia, vomiting, diarrhea, mucosal hyperemia with erythematous rashes. It is like toxin, it's a super antigen. It activates T lymphocytes and induces the release of cytokines. The next toxin is epidermolytic toxin. It is also called exfoliative toxin. It is responsible for scalded skin syndrome, SSS. There are two types of exfoliative toxin, A and B. Both are responsible for this scalded skin syndrome. The toxin spread locally under the skin layers, affects large area of skin, and spread occurs large area on the skin. Causes peeling of the skin layers. The spread of the toxin under the skin layers causes intraepidermal blisters that causes peeling of the skin layers. There are different forms are found in young and adults. The severe form is Retter's disease in newborn and toxic epidermal necrolysis in old. The milder forms are pemphigus neonatorum in newborn and bullous impetigo in old. The next about staphylococcal diseases. Staphylococcus aureus produces different types of diseases or infections. This includes skin and soft tissue infections. In that includes folliculitis, boils, abscesses, mainly breast abscesses, wound infections, carbuncles, cellulitis, etc. Then musculoskeletal infections. This include osteomyelitis, arthritis, bursitis, and pyomyositis. Respiratory infections include tonsillitis, pharyngitis, sinusitis, otitis, bronchopneumonia, and lung abscesses. Endovascular, that is blood infections, include bacteremia, septicemia, pyemia, and endocarditis. Endocarditis is a heart infection. Then central nervous system infections include abscesses and meningitis. Then urinary infections are uncommon but seen in patients with local instrumentation or in the case of diabetes. That's all about today.